Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiana with Storyhouse Books, and tonight is the final episode in this series, Create a Simple Junk Journal. Um, our last episode, we finished up the pockets, and tonight I'm going to show you basically what I filled it in with. We're not doing any ruled decorating on this one for this particular custom piece. It's supposed to be light decorating so they could do it themselves. But I want to show you a couple things that I did, what I filled it in with, and just try to talk about the end process here. First off, you're going to see these little guys I still need to put on. So I'm going to put metal corners on this. This actually falls outside of the price tier here, but I just wanted to do it for them. I just, sometimes I go, I go over and beyond a lot of times on commission pieces just because, I want it to look nice, and a little extra never hurt anybody, do something nice for somebody. So anyway, I got these at Hobby Lobby in the woodworking section. That's where I get my corners. And I actually use art glitter glue to put these on. It works really, really well. I've tried all the fancy different types of glue, this, that, and the other. And art glitter glue works great. I have tried the Tim Holtz collage medium. It works well too, but it takes so long to dry, and you need a lot of it. But it does work. It does dry clear, and it does recede when it dries, meaning it does kind of like shrink back a little bit. So even though you use a little bit more, it kind of like squidges out. It does shrink back a little bit. But honestly, I prefer the art glitter glue. I just put it on, clamp it, and it dries fairly quickly. So I wanted to show you that real quick. And we do use a pretty good bit on there. I do cover all the flat surfaces. And make sure if you're using these corners that it is flat. Sometimes they come in the package and they're a little bit warped or bent. But just make sure that they're flat before you put them on. It's helpful. Otherwise, you're going to have to end up holding it down, or it's not going to lay flat, and it's kind of a pain. So yeah. So we're going to cover the whole thing with glue. And then just place it where we want it. Yeah? So I'm going to put it right a little bit past the corner, so it's kind of sticking over the edge of this cover piece here. Oop. I moved it. Darn it. That's where I had it, right? Yeah. I think so. Right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... Darn, I keep sticking to my finger. Ah! Stop it. I'm going to clamp it with just a binder clip where I want it. And that won't take very long to dry at all. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to keep going around and make sure it's flat. Does it lay flat? It does lay flat. So what's been going on? I finished this custom piece. I have another one that I finished. I'll show you guys that one too. That one is for a client's niece. They just graduated from college. And it's made to be more of an art journal. So it doesn't have a lot in it either. It's mostly just a couple of designer pages of her interests, and then a lot of coffee dyed paper for her art and sketching and whatnot. But there is some pockets in there that you guys might be interested in seeing, and I like to show you guys the work that we do. It's also good for me to document stuff here, because I kind of sometimes forget what I make, and then I'll go back like, oh, that was cool. Or, I wish I had done a flip through, or I wish I videoed that, or whatever, because I forget. And sometimes I come up with something on the fly, and then I forget about it until, so I go back and I reference a lot of my stuff. So I would suggest you do that too. Either create an idea book. I have one of those as well. I started an idea book to put, like, ideas in, things that inspiration that I see, and I can go back and reference that. Prototypes that I create, or, it's an idea book, so ideas, right? All right, there's that one. I'm going to go ahead and flip these down so I can flip the book over. But I would suggest you document your work, unless you're keeping it, of course. For myself, like I sell most of my stuff. I don't journal myself. I try to. I know it's good for me. My doctor says I should, to get my, my feelings out on paper. Gosh darn it, this thing is volcanoing again. Let me go grab some wipes real quick. Hang on one second. Okay. Sorry, this is really expensive glue to be spooging out like that. Look at that. Ugh. That's like $10 of glue right there. No, it's not that bad. Dang it. Is it doing that? Poke it down. Okay, so the only way I found to stop that when it starts doing that is actually open it up and get the air going. See, it stops it immediately. I guess it's the pressure. There's some air that backs up in the nozzle and it pushes it up through the top like that, and it comes out like a freaking volcano. And anybody who uses arc glue knows this is expensive, so I can't afford for it to be spooging out like that. Alright guys, my daughter is looking at me, so give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I am back. Yes, my daughter had a question for me. She is an artist, very good artist. She just graduated high school with a 4.0, I might say, high honors. Super proud moment for me. Anywho, she is an artist and she just got her first commission piece tonight. So kudos to her. Congratulations to her. So she does digital art is her thing. She's really good at it. I don't know how she does it. I mean, her eye is just amazing. I hope I'm on camera. Let me see. Am I in frame? Yeah. Okay. Speaking of being in frame, I want to apologize for the last video. I watched it and before I posted. I watched it before I posted it. And the only reason I didn't like redo it because I know I was out of frame. For I mean, not completely out of frame, but there are pieces where I'm sticking halfway out, and I'm so sorry, you guys. I would have refilmed it, but there was so much that we did and that we attached to the book, I couldn't really refilm it, right? So I left it. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'd be happy to answer your questions, or film another like a tutorial on any of those pockets. Come on. All right, there's one. And another. Okay, let's get this last one on here. Is this flat? It was got a little spiky do to it. Is it flat? Looks flat. Oh, there's a little bend right there. Super important these are flat. It's a really thin metal, so it's really easy, really bendable. Or flexible, whichever term you want to use. Oop. Alright. Looks like some of the little filigree has been bent. Okay, there we go. And grab some more binder clips here. 1 and 2. So I'm going to have a busy night. So after I film this, I have a new order that I just got. And shout out to Miss Raven. Hey Raven, I'm going to be starting your piece this evening. So we're going to start a new series, a new lap book series. I want to try a new method of creating the cover. I've been watching Nick the Booksmith a lot lately. If you don't know who she is, go take a look at her her channel. She is fabulous, funny. I mean, I love watching her too. And definitely subscribe. I'll leave a link to her channel and a link to the video that we'll be using. But I'll talk about that later in the next video. But so I'm gonna be filming that tonight too. And I'm going to be filming that entire creation process for that one. So it's going to be a lap book series. It'll be a little bit different type of build than my last lap book. So definitely come with me and craft with me on this one. Create one with me. It'll be fun. So I'm kind of experimenting too. So we're kind of learning together on this one. But I think it'll be fun. I want to, like, from now on, anytime I do any work, just turn the camera on and have you guys come with me. Let's see. And hang on. Let go of it. There we go. All right. Let's flip these down so I can flip it back over. Let me check these pieces. These should be almost dry. Nope. Looks like they're still wet. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, they're not moving anywhere, but I'm gonna keep the clips on until until the glue dries clear. You see it's still white. I'll leave these on until it dries clear. But until then, I am going to show you guys what's on the inside. And the importance of pre-made ephemera. So I have boxes, these huge boxes that I keep pre-made ephemera in. Let me show you what I got here. So I've got one box here. This is where I keep my tags. So these are just scraps that I make tags with, right? And I leave them in here. And when I'm designing, I'll come in through here and see what I've got, right? And use as much as I can. I've also got one of journaling cards here. Some of them are decorated, some of them aren't. You know, most of it is cut out. Some of them are sewn. Some of them are not, you know. Here's some bingo cards that I want to use. But, and I'll grab from here and fill in the pockets. Because my pockets don't follow any standard measurements, I make tags and journaling cards in all different shapes and sizes. I also have another storage compartment for clusters. You guys remember that video I put out recently for the large clusters? They're in here, and I want us to do a mass make of those here soon. I want to fill this box with clusters for decorating, right? So if I was decorating this, I would come through here and just grab clusters and put them on the front of pockets and put them on tags. But super helpful when you're creating journals. So you have this stuff already done, so you just kind of grab it and go. But doesn't mean you're not going to create some at, you know, even still. There was plenty of pockets here that I didn't have anything that fit the style, or it didn't fit. Like I said, my pockets and envelopes and all the things that we created don't follow a standard measurement. It kind of just depends on what the page list is telling me to do, right? So here's what I've done as far as decorating. Like I said, this is a light decorating piece. It's meant to be that way, right? So for here, for this envelope, all I did was I did some speckling, some aging on it, and put a... Why is this not coming up? Hello? Is it stuck? Okay, this is weird. Why is it not coming undone? Oh, that's stuck right there. So for this one, I just used a Coffee Dyed index card here for them to write onto journal on, right? And I'm actually sending another envelope full of extra ephemera for them to decorate with, that's going with this. So you'll also will notice that I didn't like pack these things full either. That wasn't what they wanted. They wanted to be able to add, do it themselves. For here, I just put in a journal card here. I did a little bit of stamping and some more speckling and distressing. I did sew a lot of them. That's, I guess, kind of my thing. I like to sew the journal cards and the tags most of the time. I put eyelets in some things, did some more stamping on there, but I made sure each piece fit. There's just a picture here. Here's a tag here that everything's got is either already on cardstock, or I put it on cardstock and backed it with coffee dyed paper before I sewed it. Yeah. This is just a little booklet that I made from an envelope. We'll do a video on these. These are cute. Put that in here. Some more journaling space. Some of the pages I did some stenciling, but I just did it more as a guide to what it could look like. I left the rest of it alone, just to give them some inspiration of what they could do. Moving on, just a simple journaling card again, backed. This one's actually backed from some paper I found at the thrift store. It's supposed to be like, I guess presentation or resume paper, because it's kind of thick paper, but it's not as thick as cardstock. And it's got this pattern already on it, if you guys can see that. So I left it alone. I didn't put the coffee dyed paper, I just, sewed around it. And put that in. Okay. See, if it was me, I'd put a tag on it and probably a cluster. But at this point, at this point, you guys have made your journal. You put your pockets in. This is your turn to start decorating, right? And doing what you want to do with it. Here's just a picture here. Did some stamping on the sleeve there. This one here is just a simple tag. Some pictures here with eyelets, and I did put some journaling cards on the inside of each one of these envelopes there for them. Aren't these cool pictures? I love these pictures. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, this one we already did that. Here I just created some tabbed cards. This is actual vintage book page here. I believe this is German. that I got. So there is some vintage ephemera in here, like this. And put some eyelets in there if they want to put dangles on them later. All right, here's another one. This is actually more like I want to say it's like handmade paper. I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it's really thick and fibrous, but it's really pretty. So yeah, I used that. This is some book page digital that I have. I got it from Seven Plaza. It's on her Ko-fi site and her freebies, so you can get this for free. So I put eyelets on most of the journaling cards. Just something about that sets things off. Some more stamp work. These are the digital that I got with old vintage report cards. And then I did some water staining stenciling here. Thought that would go with some old report cards. Here it is a pre-made tag that I had in my box. Sewed it up. This is a vintage library card catalog card here that I'm using that I can journal on. Again, some more vintage report cards here that I just cut up and stained. And this is a note to the parents from the superintendent. Back then when you actually send stuff home to the parents. Those were cute. Let's see what else we do. Again, made some stamped journaling cards here. I'm going to actually do a video on some stamping. Somebody had asked for one, so we are going to be doing a video on some stamping with some master boards and stuff, and making ephemera from that. Hang on, guys. My daughter is staring at me again, so I will be right back. All right, you guys, back. Okay, so these are just some stamped journaling cards with the eyelets and tabs here. Some magnetic closures here I put on here. So you fit before, why aren't you fitting now? Something's stuck. Is it going that way? Oh, I put it in this way. Okay, that's why. Here's another one that I stamped here. Simple eyelet. Some more stenciling here. This is another pre-made one I already had. I went ahead and put a ball pin on it so if they want to add a dangle to it. And this pocket was already pre-made also, so it was already decorated with this cluster here. I added this to this page foldout that we had. It's one of my mini file folders here that I got the inspiration from Seven Plaza, and I'll try to remember to link that video as well. And we put the matching journaling card in here. It's upside down. Put it like that. And I think we should put a magnetic closure on there. What do you guys think? I think so too. So let's do that real quick. So this is when I'm going through and seeing if there's any edits that I need to make, or, you know, hopefully there's no repairs that I need to make either. All the pages look good. So if you guys remember, we just get our Zots here. You can use glue as well. If you're going to use glue, I would recommend using Art Glitter Glue, works fine. Let me just put this on here, put that on there, put it on the Zot. These do work just fine. I used to get mine at Joann's, and I don't know where I'm going to get them now. I don't know if Hobby Lobby carries them or not. Pretty much everything I've just been getting online. I do get my Tim Holtz backdrops from Hobby Lobby. They do carry 3 of them. I think they have 1, 4, and 5, or I mean, I know they only have 3, but they're cheaper at Hobby Lobby. They're only $8.99 versus if you go to like Simon Says or Scrapbooking.com, where they're $9.99 high and higher there. God forbid you go to Amazon, they're even higher there. So, I mean, whenever I get to Hobby Lobby, I grab them when I can, or if they're on sale online somewhere, I try to grab them. And I'm hoarding them right now, because y'all know he's done, and who knows. Alright, we're going to make sure to get this hopefully centered. Right there. Yeah, okay. And then what's that? It's a little piece of glue. Peel this one off carefully. There we go. And then I'm going to attach it to this magnet here so we get correct placement, and then just push it down and it should release. There we go. Alright, I'm going to push this down a little bit, and then I'm also going to remove whatever adhesive is sticking out on the sides. I don't want to see that. So I just take my tweezers, I showed you this before, and I just pull it off. It's fairly simple. Just grab it and yank it. I mean, you don't have to do this. If it doesn't bother you, leave it on there. I just don't want to see it. There we go. Alright, just make sure you don't pull out all the adhesive when you're trying to trim it up like this. Just the little pieces that are sticking out is what I grab. There we go. Alright. That's good. Alright, so in here we put some, just some pictures. Here, I love the birds. I made, had to make this one, a full tabbed, full page journal card with an eyelet there, sewed. Some stitching on there. And what else did we use? There's just a card in there, nothing special. In here, we did some more speckling here. Another, my pre-made, this is a Tim Holtz, and it's back with coffee line paper, coffee dye paper. Here we've got actually decoupaged flashcard, and I've also backed it with coffee dye paper, put an eyelet in it. This is Tim Holtz Entomology collage paper, and then I sprayed some the oxide spray in walnut stain on top. Let that dry. I sprayed a little bit of water so it would oxidize a little bit. This is another flashcard. This is a Word flashcard. Got these at a thrift store. Backed it with some coffee dye paper. Put an eyelet on it. This one actually did a decoupage with an old vintage dress pattern. That's what this is. So that's from the 1940s, that pattern there. In here we did a coffee dyed index card for some journaling space. And then I did another drawing card from some scrap of paper scraps that we had. I thought this castle here would kind of look like a school, old school. And then I did this wide eyelet here, added a bulb pin if they wanted to put a dinkle on it if they wanted to. And in here I added some more pictures, but I attached them together with a brad. So you just kind of turn them around like that. Journal on the back. Yeah? So put those in here in the belly band. Thought that was cute. Moving on. So this one, I actually distressed this envelope and I did some stamping here. We did another coffee dyed index card. This is from some scrap that I had. Again, I used the walnut stain spray, some water to get the oxidation on it to give it some more distressed look, and lined it or backed it with coffee dyed paper. Nice little card for journaling. Yeah. And inside here we have another vintage card catalog card for journaling. And a magnetic closure there. And then finally, let's see, open this. So I grabbed the page by accident. Oh, darn it. There we go. Let go. In here, this is one of my acetate, another pre-made tag, acetate acetate tags. Backed it with coffee dyed paper, did some stitching. This is from the freebie 7 Plaza Gothic Architecture. It's on our Ko-fi site. I'll try to remember to put the link to these in the description, but cool tag, right? Love it. So put that in here. Darn it, where's the pocket? I don't think I put it in the pocket. There we go. Well, get in there. What's your problem? Did we not pop the pocket? We popped it. It just is being difficult. Oh, come on. What's the problem? There we go. In you go. Alright, then I did some sort of, I guess, some distressing and stamping there on that journaling card there. And I wanted to keep it closed with just a simple paper clip. I was going to use one of the tiny ones, but it kept snagging on the stitching, so I grabbed just a plain office paper clip for that. And then finally, we did just a little stencil, speckling and a stamp there. And then I made this from an old time card that I coffee dyed as well. I've got this mushroom paper punch, so I did this on the side and cut this with another paper punch that I had. They can use it as a bookmark, right? I think it looks kind of cool. So that's what we put in this envelope here. And there we go. This one is done, and it will be going out tomorrow. I think these are about done. I'm gonna let them sit overnight just to make sure that they cure properly. But so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Like I said, I'm gonna get started tonight on our new series, the new lap book that I'm creating for our friend, our new friend, and we'll just call her Lady R. Okay. So it's going to be a lap book is my idea for her. She kind of gave me creative freedom. She gave me some ideas of what she likes. But so yeah, it's a new series called Lap Book. New series creating a lap book with me. We're going to go again start to finish. And this one's going to be highly decorated. This is a full-on piece. So we'll see what I come up with. You guys are going to go with me step by step. I'm going to plan some of it. Try to plan some of it before I film. But a lot of it is going to be from the hip. So come along with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good night. Bye.